Like my story?
No, not your story, a story. Since you can't keep your mouth shut long enough for me to read my paper, tell me a story.
I don't think I know any stories.
You don't know any stories?
No.
All right, I'll tell you a story. This is a newspaper, right? It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it, because it entertains me. You won't let me read it. So you entertain me with your bullshit. Tell me a story right now. Go.
Job well done.
What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin, where the wall fights start. Round one. It's supposed to do that for me. You know what I mean? And I'd be minding like, hold on, let me take down this power thing. So that's probably going to shoot down the power a little. So how's the mic listening while driving? What's up, man? All right, Frontline in the building. Haney versus, yeah, man, Jack Catterall. Let's get it. Listen, Dre, bro, I like the fight. I like the fight. I don't know what's going on social media that a lot of people are saying they don't like this fight, but let's talk about it. And I want to talk to the fans and I want to talk to everybody about this fight. And like, who else would you want Devin Haney to fight now that Keyshawn Davis tucked his tail between his legs and ran for the hills? Let's just call it for what it is. Or maybe the young man saw that he was being set up in a fight. He probably couldn't win. You know, I broke down my scenario. I told you guys what I thought about it, right? I feel like Shakur Stevenson set him up to fight Devin. The fight that Keyshawn Davis was supposed to fight, he was supposed to fight Teofimo Lopez at 140. And Shakur took that fight from him. See, there was history there with Keyshawn and Teo, where that Keyshawn allegedly smacked Teo's dad. That seems to be true. Teo talked about it, right? So there was history there. Plus their little encounter at Teo's fight with Arnold Barboza when they were sitting up on the stage and Teo was reading that book trying to play dumb and Keyshawn was talking shit to him. So we all saw that. So that was Keyshawn's fight. Shakur Stevenson took that fight. Shakur Stevenson was also the one that told Raymond Ford to fight O'Shaquie Foster, that if he beat O'Shaquie Foster, he would fight him. Shakur Stevenson was a no-show. Then Shakur Stevenson allegedly tells his brother, Keyshawn, why don't you go up there with a 147 and handle Devin? Handle my light work. Work he never took. Then all of a sudden, Bill Haney and Devin and them, they started throwing around Keyshawn's name like this 144. And it was sounding real suspicious, right? I'm like, catch weight 144. Devin's not gonna fight there. He knows Devin can't make that weight. Everything wasn't adding up. Then all of a sudden, Keyshawn gets tricked into taking a fight with Devin. Then I think Keyshawn realized, bro, y'all set me up because I'm doing shit and Raymond Ford is doing shit you wouldn't do, Shakur Stevenson. You're sending out us on assignment to do things you weren't gonna do. So and then all of a sudden, I knew there was something wrong here, right? As soon as the Keyshawn Davis fight fell apart, right? There was no signing or no sights of Shakur Stevenson. He hightailed it right behind Dana White at Zuffa. It left Devin with what? Wait a minute. According to Devin Haney and Bill Haney, the fight they wanted was the Shakur fight. So if Keyshawn was the roadblock and he was in the way and he fell by the wayside, what's the problem? That's how I know that that fight with Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney was bullshit. It was all a smokescreen to set up Keyshawn Davis. That's exactly how I know that. Because if he was the roadblock, there should be nothing stopping you two from getting it on. Where's Shakur Stevenson at? Was he one of the guys that Bill Haney and Devin mentioned? No. It was out of who? Jack Catterall, right? From what we were hearing, and Liam Paro. Where did Shakur go? If Keyshawn was the roadblock, should have no problem making that fight now, should you? But is the fight happening? Is the fight being made? That, my friend, is the $1,000,000 question. And why isn't this fight being made? So now it's like, you know, we're getting I guess Jack Catterall seems to be the likely of candidates. Devin, I guess, for whatever reason, is not getting a unification, right? So because that Liam Paro fight, I would have liked it to see him unify. Now the timeline is interesting. The timeline is very interesting. That's what I want to talk about right now. See, because now the timeline shifts. We're getting close to that Teofimo Lopez and Rolly fight. Boy, let me tell you something. If Rolly pulls this off, he beats Tio, Rolly turns into something else. He like morphs. Yeah, he becomes a real threat to the division. A real certified champ. You beat a former world champion in Teofimo Lopez, and you come that far in your boxing career where that your skills were what they were going into the Tank Davis fight, right? And then you evolved as a fighter so much that would say that what we thought of you, you surpassed Teal. Well, whatever you were able to bring out, whatever you bring to the table, if you manage to get a victory over Teofimo Lopez, that's a wrap, Jack. That's a wrap. He's a real threat to Devin. Devin might think, oh, he's a strong fighter, a little unorthodox. Sometimes don't want to take those kind of chances with these kind of guys that are wild, right? You can get in a lucky punch and shit like that. Ryan, with the Ryan Garcia and Devin, him experiencing that, fighting a guy that didn't have as much as skills as Devin, but was able to put the beats by Dre on Devin. Now, drugs aside, PE scandals aside, you still had a fight. What were you doing in the fight, Devin? You understand? So power and combatant power might not be Devin Haney's strongest suit. Learning how to deal with it. He did get in the ring though with a big puncher in Brian Norman Jr. I gotta admit that. Brian's a pretty decent puncher. He couldn't catch up to Devin. He couldn't catch up to Devin. He did clip Devin a couple times in the fight. Devin showed a beard. He showed a beard in the Ryan Garcia fight when he managed to get up off the floor, 3 times? That's what they gave Ryan credit for. He actually knocked him down like 5 times in the fight. The ref didn't just count him, you know. But Devin his body recorded that fight on that night. 100%. So Rolly beats the guy that allegedly beat you. You got it overturned, no contest, no loss, no win. I get it. But still, Rolly dusted Ryan off. And I mean, he had Ryan going backwards the entire night. Ryan didn't want to feel that punch anymore. Yep. And a lot of people say that Rolly can crack. Rolly got real pop. He didn't show that against Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Isaac Pitbull Cruz had him on stanky legs. It was just bad. Some guys have trouble fighting smaller guys, smaller than them. They I don't know what it is, but I've seen this a lot of times where big dudes struggle against the little guy, the shorter guy. They don't know how to fight like down there, and they get sloppy and they get caught over the top real easy, real easy. They just don't think this little dude, and they punching down, and all of a sudden the shot just comes boop, and it's over with. And and then you put that guy, that same guy that lost to the short dude, you put him in a guy his size, and he kicks his ass. Yeah. So I don't know how to judge Rolly, but what boxing taught me throughout the years, I can only judge it by that. And what boxing taught me, Teal's a lot further along than Rolly. He's a lot further. Plus, look, this goes both ways. Teal got a lot of familiarity with Rolly because he sparred with him a lot. So didn't Rolly spar against him. And I'm going to tell you something right now. There was a part of me that was thinking, leading into this fight, that Rolly would feel some kind of way, right? Because when Rolly was down on his luck, Teal was there for him. Teal gave him money, like $5,000, and was there with him until he got on his feet. And Teal showed him love, right? And I thought that coming into the fight, that would play in Rolly's head, like I'm fighting my boy type shit. He's a good dude. But I no longer think that because Rolly's the type of dude that doesn't look like he has the like that sixth sense. He's like out, not in the sense of saying that he's slow or anything, but Rolly, he doesn't seem to have that connection. He will go in there and actually bust your ass and then go to dinner with you afterward, like nothing happened. He's not like the kind of person like he's gonna feel bad about it. He's gonna whoop your ass, take you to dinner, pay for the dinner, and talk shit during dinner. That's Rolly. That's how he comes across to me. His personality, his swag, everything. Like I think that's not gonna affect Rolly. Not like when it affected Wilfredo Benitez and he fought Sugar Ray Leonard, right? And he was dating his sister. I actually think, and a lot of fight fans think, that Benitez really wasn't himself that night and that he allowed that relationship to come into the fight, right? Um, and I thought that maybe Rolly's relationship with Teal would play a factor. Too much buddy buddy. You know, what we're going to go in there and see is a glorifying sparring match because it's two friends competing. I saw two friends go at it before in the ring. I saw what's his name there? The one that Dubois fought, Miller, and Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. They were the best of friends there. They went in there and had a hell of a fight. And I mean, that was probably Miller's best performance, man. Up to date when he fought Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. That's gotta be his best performance. Andy, yo, he had a pretty decent fight and shit. Salute, brother John. How you doing? And you know, I thought that Rolly, it might, or maybe it might affect Teal. Because like I said at the beginning of this goes both ways. It goes both ways. I don't know if Teal can see Rolly hurt and think destroy when you got that kind of like, you know what I'm saying? That kind of respect. But I have seen time and time again where two friends, they ask the other one, don't hold back, bro. I need you to compete. I need to know if I can beat you. Don't hold back. That's all I ask. Fight me like you would fight anybody else. If you're willing to sign this contract against me, then promise me that when you go in this ring with me, you give me your best. Because I'm gonna give you my best. After the fight, we cool in the game. But during the fight, leading into the fight, I'm gonna treat you like every other opponent. Promise me you'll do the same. That's all I can ask for, my friend. and fair competition. Because, not everybody, depending, like, I'm not going to fight my brother. I don't think for like no amount of money. I'm just not doing it. Not fighting none of my brothers. I have a few of them, and no, I'm never going to do it. I remember as a kid, my brother was well known in the neighborhood, and I was his little brother, right? And I started fighting coming up. And one day the question came from some kid in the neighborhood: who would win in a fight versus you and your brother? We looked at him and I said it. I said, no, who would win in a fight between me and you? Why would you want me to fight my brother? Why would you even think that? He was no longer our friend. I think we stomped him out that day. I'm pretty sure we did. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure we probably stomped him out. He was no longer our friend, right? Don't ever say that. Don't ever. Oh, who's gonna win between you? What the fuck? What is wrong with you? That's my brother. I don't want to fight him at all. We argue, throw things, but I don't believe I've ever had a fist fight with my brother. Nah. We were we were raised wild, but ironically enough, we had weird morals. I look back and I'm like, we had some weird. We seemed like we were good kids. Like, oh, these guys didn't fight. We weren't good kids at all, at all, at all. For good qualities that we had, okay, we didn't fight each other. I guess that's a good quality because of my mother. She used to whip out the Bible all the time. Cain killed Abel. That's the worstest thing for a mother to see two sons fighting. And it just haunted my dreams and my brothers. I think she would whisper that shit into our ears at night, bro. It was that we would get so mad at each other, slam doors, throw things, all kinds of brother shit. Say fuck you to each other. We've had mad arguments, but go down a fist fight? No, not to this day. Maybe when we were like 10, 11 or something, 9, my brother beat me up or something. Like I can remember one time, like I was a kid, but when we got of age like that, nah, mom didn't play that shit. She would like over dramatically, like if he act like he was gonna hit me, she'd throw herself on the floor. That's your little brother. You're supposed to protect him. And he could never come home unless I came home with him. So he had to protect me, right? Uh but yeah, man. You know, um, there's a lot of things and a lot of you know, situations that play out in boxing. Relationships is one of them, right? I think the relationship between Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson is a toxic one. Yes. I don't think Shakur Stevenson has any good intention or anything like that for Keyshawn Davis. If he was your real boy, why did he take that Tio fight from you? Then, when you told him, you can no longer make this weight, I need to move up to 140. Why didn't he vacate the belt and allow you to fight at 140 when he was saying on interviews, I'm not even a 140 pounder, I'm a 135 pounder. So if you're a 135 pounder and you were already talking about during that time, you were going back down to 135. And was that a stunt? You wanted to play it off for Keyshawn. Oh, I'm going back down to 135. And he never went anywhere, which made Keyshawn the number one to who? To him. Then he told Keyshawn, you're not going to fight me. Why don't you go fight Devin? And it was like he put Keyshawn in every bad situation. Not like if he's managing Keyshawn's career, but I'm pretty sure they've talked. And once upon a time, when he went up there, Keyshawn was telling him, yo, I'm going to go fight Tio at 140. And all of a sudden, fucking Shakur Stevenson jumped up, raised his hand, and got the fight. Because Shakur would have been a bigger bag than Keyshawn. At least that's what Tio would have thought. You know what I'm saying? Plus, Tio, he always wanted to prove himself against the Four Horsemen. Keyshawn wasn't one of the four horsemen coming up. So a little bit of pride, a little bit of ego, and a little bit of money got that fight together. You know what I mean? So, and that's why I say that I don't really think that uh Shakur Stevenson was doing right by Keyshawn. And I don't know if he sees this or if he's gonna wake up or if he's already woken up to the fact of what this is. And where does Keyshawn go from here? Where does Keyshawn go from here? I'll tell you where Keyshawn's gonna go from here. See, they set Keyshawn up. They didn't just set him up, man. They put him in a bad situation with the setup. I don't know if they thought all these ins and outs, but because they probably didn't think he was going to pull out of the fight. But by pulling out of the fight, you drop down in the ranking, in the WBO ranking. You're number 7. By dropping down in the ranking, let's see if I got this. Hold on. I just want to confirm one thing. I just got to confirm one thing. Uh Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on here? Yo, hold on a second. Where is Tiger Johnson ranked in? Where the fuck is Tiger Johnson at? Uh Tiger Johnson's not ranked in the top 15 in no organization? Not yet. Rohan Polanco is number 6 for Devon's belt. Brian Norman Jr. went back to the number 1. Tio's number 2. Richard Hitchens is number 3. Manny Pacquiao is number 4. Arnold Barboza's number 5. Rohan Polanco's number 6. Keyshawn Davis is number 7. Alex Rocha is number 8. Oh, right here, right here. He's number 9. I'm always looking for Tiger first. Johnson, like his nickname and shit. So he's number 9. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So he's 2 behind Keyshawn, which was going to bring me to my point. Once he got out of the fight with Devin Haney, he was going to run into Devin Haney's smoke. Tiger Johnson, Keyshawn. That's Devin Haney's smoke. The core tried to get him to handle his smoke, and now Devin, in a fucked up way, is probably going to get him to try to handle his smoke. Unintentionally, not planned, but the cards are probably going to fall that way. I don't think they were smart enough to figure no shit like that out, right? That if he avoids us, then Devin will get Tiger Johnson to fight Keyshawn. I don't think they did all that. But the way the cards are gonna fall, Devin just might get Keyshawn to take care of his dirty work. Let's see if Tiger gets past Keyshawn. And that would have been another Devin Haney victim, but he got out of it. Keyshawn. So whatever one of them wins, all roads are going to lead back to Devin. Long as Devin remains champion, they're all going to lead back to him. They're in his ranking system. Where does that leave Rohan Polanco in all of this? Now, can Rohan Polanco and Keyshawn fight? Or Rohan Polanco and Tiger Johnson fight? For at one point in time, I didn't want that fight because I like both fighters, but now it's time to get it on. We're past that point. Rohan's got to prove that he's a real threat in the division, right? Rohan's got to come out there, I think, you know, um, enough of those fights. You've been saying for a long time now, for over a year at least, Rohan. For over a year, I've heard him say he's ready for the top guys. Not the champion. He didn't say it like the champions, but he just said the top guys. The top guys, meaning at least the top 5. Let's put it the top 8. Because Rohan Polanco is in the top 6. So who's in front of Rohan Polanco right now? Honor Barboza. Honor Barboza, right? A former fighter that Tio beat. And Arnold Barboza became a world champion, right? He lost to Tio, right? Then who did Arnold beat? Sims? Simpson there? Sims? That's the last guy I think he fought. So Manny Pacquiao, Richard Hitchens, and Teofimo Lopez. I don't think Rohan Polanco gets a fight with Manny Pacquiao. I don't think so. Arnold Barboza, he could fight Arnold Barboza. I mean, Arnold Barboza is only one notch above him and sitting at number 5. Rohan sitting at number 6 for the WBO. Now, either of those guys can also fight Brian Norman Jr., meaning Tiger Johnson and Rohan Polanco. Either of them can fight Tiger Johnson. I would welcome that fight. Brian Norman Jr., the one thing he does have on the rest of the guys, he was a former world champion. So if Tiger Johnson can beat a former world champion and beat the guy that Devin fought and then have the drama behind the altercation between them two, leading into a fight, like if he can get past that hurdle, Brian Norman Jr., which I don't think is going to be an easy hurdle. You know, Shields there got Brian Norman Jr., from what I'm hearing, looking pretty sharp. And it might not be Tio he can fight, right? Because Tio's obviously in a fight right now with Rolly, right? And he might come out of that fight the WBA champion, maybe. Rolly might be in still. Let's not count Rolly out, okay? Because I'm not counting Rolly out, okay? So Polanco can't fight Tio. What about Richard Hitchens? What is he doing after that Zuffa catastrophe? What is Richard? I mean, Richard Hitchens didn't really fight. Now, I'm not trying to bring Zuffa fighters into the equation, you know, like El Rayo. I'm not, because that's Zuffa's planning. It's whoever they're going to deem El Rayo to fight. You already seen Shakur Stevenson ducked him on a chat, like quick, like mad quick. They was like, hey, yeah, Rayo was like, yeah, man, I've always wanted to fight Shakur and test my abilities. Looking forward to fighting him. Shakur was like, nope, I'm not fighting El Rayo. Quick. You know why? Because El Rayo put the beats to Dre to the man that held you at a stalemate, Edwin De Los Santos. And when you saw El Rayo punching like that and dropping De Los Santos like that, and you knew De Los Santos got a big punch, and De Los Santos punched the shit out of fucking El Rayo took that shit and hit him with his own shot. Once you saw that shit, that the guy and the way that El Rayo beat Edwin De Los Santos, so he made it look so easy. Shakur couldn't do that. then Shakur's gonna try to down talk El Rayo. Like the reason why I'm not fighting him, he's not on my level. What you mean he's not on your level? He beat the shit out and knocked out the guy that had you at a stalemate for 12 rounds that put you once upon a time in the record book for the least amount of punches thrown in a 12-round fight in your weight division. That's what kind of stalemate that man had you on. And El Rayo beat the shit out. No wonder you don't want to fight him. But you're trying to play it off like if El Rayo's not on your level and that you don't want to fight that fight because, oh, ain't no tickets. Mother. Shakur, bro, listen, guys, do me a favor, hit that like button for me, man. Reach down and hit it. Yo, listen, man. El Rayo, he did his damn thing. And somehow, Shakur, you always want to feed it to us like you did you're doing great in your boxing and that all the people, all these fans are trolling you and they're all wrong and you're right. You know, you got on the Shannon Sharp podcast and Shannon Sharp, shout out to him. He asked you some tough questions, but he should have just asked you the straight question. Like question number one. All Shakur kept saying is how he dominated Tio, how he beat Tio, how Tio's a former world champion. Well, can you answer this question? Why'd you steal that fight from Keyshawn Davis? No one ever wanted you to fight Tio. Why'd you went Melanie in business that didn't belong to you? In fact, you're bragging so much about that fight, Shakur. Why did you take that fight? You had better fights. Tank was there. Devin's there. Shit, there's a lot of guys in your division to unify. But you went and took Keyshawn's fight. You knew that man wanted to fight him. Got the same promoter. He could have told you Keyshawn's plans. Y'all two could have talked it over. Said, nah, I'm going to go fight him. All of a sudden, your name got with the envelope which slipped across. Instead of Keyshawn's name in the fucking contract, it was your name now. Then after you win the belt at 140, you start backpedaling. Talk about I'm really a 135 pounder. I don't know why these guys want to fight me at 147. At the time, you had the 140-pound title. You just beat Tio, the guy you fucking claimed the victory so much over. Then you say you're a 135 pounder? Don't you got a responsibility to the division that you win a belt in? But you didn't want the responsibility of the division because Keyshawn became your number one. Then you sent that man on a wild goose chase. Something you wouldn't do. As a matter of fact, you know why I know Shakur was never going to fight Devin? You know why? What really gave it away for me? I'm going to be truthful with y'all. You know what really gave it away for me? If that Devin Haney, once upon a time, gave Shakur Stevenson an opportunity at 4 belts, and he sent them 2 offers for 4 with more on the line, and Shakur didn't take it then, what made you think that he really wanted to fight him for 1 belt? That's what gave it away. That's why I picked up on that so fast. That Shakur was actually setting him up. Because it didn't make sense. I said, Shakur Stevenson, you've been saying that you want all the big fights. The biggest fight to be made is you versus Devin. That's the fight to be made. Tank, I don't know what the fuck Tank's doing. So if he's out the picture, when the smoke would have cleared between you two, one of y'all would have had the torch for American boxing, and watch out if you didn't become the face of boxing at the exact same time. Oh yeah, and by the way, you walk off with the championship, right? and the bag, whatever money you got paid. All that. And Shakur said no. What made you think he was going to say yes now at a catch weight at 144? It wasn't the weight the last time. They were both in the same weight division. They were in the same weight division and didn't fight each other. Now that Devin's up there, you want me to believe, Shakur, that you're going to fight him at a mysterious catch weight at 144 when you guys were in the division of the same weight. You didn't fight? And there was 4 belts? Shakur, you might be able to run game for a little while from people that have, they're not from around the way. And you might be able to get away with casuals because they won't second think it. But you can't run game on me. I'm where you're from. Remember that. I come from the exact same city you come from. And I live on the north end. Right? Listen, buddy. You listen. Shakur, bro. You're full of shit, man. You were never going to fight these guys. Never, not the month of Neverwary. Mark it down in your calendar. Shakur Stevenson versus Devin, because that ain't never going to happen. And I don't think it's because of Devin's end anymore. I don't think it's on Devin Haney's end. I would like to see Devin Haney, because of these dates now, right? There's a universe right now where the stars can align that Devin can still go into a fight and still be ready within a 2-month span of the winner of Tio and Rolly. Whoever wins, I hope the best for both men, and I wish both men the best. I wish Rolly the best, and I wish Tio the best in the fight. May the best man win. I got Tio in the fight, right? If I had to pick one, because at least Tio's the American guy. You know what I'm saying? So when Bobos comes in, they're gonna try to make Rolly a Mexican. Yeah. You know how they do, right? Right. Anybody that is gonna fight Tio, Honor Berry, he wins. They had Keyshawn Davis, that's they boy. That's they boy, right? I'm just fucking around, guys. Just in case you come in here new, if you don't know, I have a thing going along with my chat, and we have this thing. We have a great time. Trust me. So anyway, join us. Join us here. Subscribe to the channel. Become a Round One Sports Talk member. Be part of the Round One Sports Talk family. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, Chad, let me tell you something right now. Right? If he's not gonna get eerily enough, right? Okay, it goes Tio Roley, Ryan Connor, right? Um, Devin's got to be active in between. Devin's already been sitting on a shelf. When was Devin's last fight? Devin's last fight was Brian Norman Jr., and Brian Norman Jr. already fought. When's the last time Devin got in the ring? Let's see. My memory. Brian Norman Jr., bro. Last time Brian was Devin Haney was saw in the ring, 11/22/2025, November 22nd, 2025. Where are we in August? Yeesh. Yeesh. Devin, you got to get a fight, bro. You got to get a fight. I don't give a fuck, man. Take that Jack Catterall fight, beat the shit out that dude. Stay active. It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. You got to take that Jack Catterall fight. If they're going to give it to you, fuck it. Take it. Take the Jack Catterall. But Devin, bro, if you're hearing me, man, or if this gets back to you, Devin, don't sleep on Jack. He's a very patient fighter. He likes to sit on the back foot and roll punches and throw straight. Arnold Barboza broke through that shit. He was able to, but when see Jack Catterall, um, he's a tricky fighter. There's a lot more to him than meets the eye. He looks basic sometimes. He looks like when you watch him, but it's his timing. It's Jack Catterall's timing and placement of shots. He can time you well, right? He's a lot better than what people think. Now, I remember one time, him, Josh Taylor, they went at it, and a lot of people thought that Jack Catterall won the fight, and me, myself included. He was just in enemy's territory, and he didn't get I don't think he got the call, but then there's another side of me that says, well, if you're going to beat the guy with 4 belts, you're going to have to fucking definitively beat him for 4 belts. Because that fight was a 4 belt, and at least Jack Catterall can say that he got a shot at undisputed. He competed in a ring on one night to have the ability to win 4 belts. So Devin Haney being a former undisputed champion, right? You can sell this. You can pitch this. Arnold Barboza fought a hell of a fight against him. Devin, just don't sleep on this dude. I think Devin beats him convincingly. If Devin goes out there and just beats Devin Haney, and I'm talking live behind that jab, boom, 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 setting it up, I think Devin beats Jack easy. Yeah, I think Jack might win 3 rounds in the fight. That's what I see. Now, there could be a scenario. Jack has been shown to go forward. Okay. Who was it? The Regis Progress fight, I think it was, right? Regis drops him, but Regis was down on the fight when he dropped him, right? Which I think so. Then when he drops him, he Regis kept doing the same mistakes, walking into shots. He made it a bit too easy for Jack to come back in the fight. Had Regis settled back, try to get Jack to come through the front door, and shout out to Jack Catterall, right? He stood in his character. He stood in compose. Even though when he went down, he didn't feel like the momentum switched in his head. It wasn't like the urgency went to Jack Catterall. No. It was like he left it on Regis, and he somehow convinced Regis he had to come in. And yo, and you want to know something? I can feel that energy in that fight on that day. I remember watching the fight, saying to myself, Regis, bro, stay composed, man. Stay within yourself. You're gonna go into, and bro, sure enough, Jack Catterall's got that ability. Kind of gets you to do things you don't want to do. Those kind of fighters. Like, why did I do that in the fight? And it was like he somehow got you to do it, and he knew you were gonna do it. And Papa made you pay for it. Shit like that happens. I got that vibe off that situation with Jack Catterall and that like that. Then you see, Devin's gotta stay active, but he's gotta stay with the belt. Jack Catterall is a professional, right? Ladies and gentlemen, he is a professional. Professional what? Boxer. Any guy that steps in the ring with Devin Haney at this point in his career is always a threat. It's always a threat. They're looking to take away everything Devin Haney has. This is exactly what Keyshawn Davis should have did if he was real about it. If he was really, his intentions were to really fight Devin and win. That's why we all know he ducked, right? Because when they said he wanted 3 million or this offer or this, and his coach said, well, who are you to tell me what we worth? That gave it away, because boxing in some situations can't always be about the money. It has to be about taking risk, chances, legacy. That's what boxing is about. So when you take these, when you take on these opportunities, not every time you're going into that talking about I want a certain dollar amount. Devin proved exactly that when he fought George Camboza out there in Australia. What did he prove to the boxing world? This is not about money. It's about legacy, championships, to have the right to be called undisputed. Look how much Lomachenko tastes that. Some men have died in pursuit of chasing that. They have fallen short, never accomplishing that feat in the sport of boxing. Shit, when you think about title fights, let's think about how long does it take on average for a gentleman to compete for a world title? Just one world title. Well, the other night, didn't Abdullah Mason fight Albert Bell? Okay, wasn't Albert Bell undefeated coming into that fight? Okay, how long has Albert Bell been a professional boxer coming into the fight with Abdullah Mason? You didn't know this? He was a professional till that day for 13 years. He was a 13-year pro that got his first crack at a world title, and he's undefeated. Now, you could break down all the situations. I'm just laying down a foundation. It took him 13 years as a pro to get his first world title fight. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to say is these opportunities don't come around every day. Not everybody is offered a title fight. Keyshawn, if you got an opportunity at a title fight and you want back what you once had as a champion, well, there it was with Devin Haney. There would have been no dollar amount. You could have you could have said anything. Yeah, how much money? Yeah, I'll take it. I'm fucking you up. I'm taking your belt and I'm taking everything you worked for. Because at the end of this night, no matter what you pay me on my next fight, I promise you I'll get all that and more because I'll be the champion. And if I beat the great Devin Haney, where you think that would have catapulted Keyshawn star status, probably the face of American boxing, and probably the torch that Terrence Crawford tried to pass to Shakur. He would have took all that away. There wasn't a dollar amount. You could have said whatever you wanted to me. If your goal and your mission in life, you wanted to prove to the world, bro, I could beat Devin. There was your opportunity. Instead, you let the opportunity pass you by over money. No, you didn't think you could beat him. Let's be honest. There's been a lot of lies told at this table. A lot of lies. But you could see through somebody's bullshit. You're not in the situation to say, who are you to tell me my worth? I'll tell you who you're not, a world champion. And I know who and I'll tell you who you're talking to, the world champion. So you need to fucking check who you guys are. Keyshawn and his trainer. Talk about who are you to tell me what we worth? I'll tell you who I am, the world champion. How about that? And I'll tell you what you're not, a world champion. I'm giving you an opportunity at my belt, Devin Haney, and you spit it back in my face? You know why? Because you shook. You don't think, not you, Keyshawn, nor your trainer, believes you could have beaten Devin Haney. That's just the bottom line. When I think I could beat somebody, I don't let nothing stand in my way. Would you? If this dude was popping that much shit, he done showed up to a house, made videos of you. He's punching water inside a fucking in the ocean. Saying that it's you. He's trying to show frustration that it's boxing that's against him. That if it was up to him, he would be fighting all these fights. Well, guess what happened when a real one showed up? He pulled your card, Keyshawn. Yo, you lift your skirt too high. We saw your sunshine. Keyshawn, bro, that dude picked up his purse and hightailed it in his high heels. When a real one pulled up, Devin. And that's crazy that you gave Devin that status of Debo. You literally stamped his name as Debo because he paced you off the block. You're going to let, bro, you're going to let Devin do that to you? According to Tiger Johnson, Devin Haney's sweet. He's sweet for real. He ain't like that. He stole on me and ran. You know what I'm saying? He said that in the Tiger Johnson said that in his little TikTok thing. Hold on a second, guys. So, no, I didn't. She's asking me if I ordered something on Amazon. I didn't order anything. Somebody trying to use my card? Check it out. Anyway, all right. Keyshawn, hold on. Devin is trash. Listen, that's what I'm saying, dog. Bull rider. That's what I'm saying, dog. You let that dude punk you. You made him look like more than if he's really not that. Or is it that Devin is that? You know what I'm saying? Somebody will come up in here and be like, yo, round one's like a Devin fan. No, no. I'm taking the less of the two evils. The guy that got egg on his face, I'm not taking him. Devin's the one that looked like a gangster right now. Because y'all let that happen. You knew you, man, listen, bro. Yo, Keyshawn, I can't believe you let them talk you into that. Then when Keyshawn was out there on a ledge all by himself, looking down, scared as fuck, because Devin, now he had to fight Devin, he had to be honest with himself. Keyshawn was like, fuck, bro, I'm going to look real stupid right now. But I think he actually made the right choice by avoiding Devin for now. For now. I think they'll meet up later in the future. If Keyshawn can stay the course, keep fighting. It seems like Keyshawn's going to be one of those fighters that lets the lamplight take him out. And I don't like to say that about any fighter, but he seems to be more money-based, gold chains. He wants to be Devin. For a guy that says he wants everything that Devin has, you had an opportunity to take it away, and you didn't do it. So obviously, Devin had to be better than you. Because if you really thought you could whoop Devin's ass, just winning the belt by itself with no payday was good enough. Because now you're the world champion. Now you can set your demands. Unification fights, you got a bigger bag coming. Just get the belt. So business-wise, get the thing that'll bring you the value, the world title. The money should have never been the situation, and somehow it became the obstacle, a huge hurdle to get over. And then another clue that gave it away for Keyshawn, for me, he comes out and he tries to say, what do you mean? Devin gets 75 and I get a 25 split. I'm worth more than that. Nah. I want 3 million. You see, because Devin's getting paid by the zone. They're going to give him his money, right? So, and now you forced it to go to a purse bid. So now Devin really wants his money. Plus, Devin went in co-affiliation with the people that put up the money. So it's like Devin put up money on his own fight to make more money. So Devin was set. Devin was set. Devin played Keyshawn every step of the motherfucking way. It was like every time Keyshawn made a move, Devin was on it. It was Keyshawn and his team that ran into every wall. They were blindsided by every turn. Devin been in big negotiations already. Okay? Then Keyshawn came out and tried to pretend like, yo, I don't agree to this 75-25 shit. What the fuck is this shit? I deserve more money. But wait a minute, Keyshawn. I would have believed that lie had you not been the WBO champion in the division below. You went into negotiations with Edwin De Los Santos. You wrote up a contract before the fight. Then when you went to fight night, you didn't make weight on fight night. Meaning, before you miss weight, the contract was already signed with the WBO and the rules were already stated to you. You already been in a negotiation with the WBO as their champion, Keyshawn. Yo, run that game to somebody else, bro. Run that game to a casual that don't know. Bro, you came to the Devin fight and you tried to pump fake. You try to act stupid. Oh, what you mean 75-25? I never do this shit. You were the champion in the low. Man, Keyshawn, if you don't get out of here with your full of shit, bro. Yo, you ducked them, bro. You fucking ducked them. That's just the bottom line. And I can't say now, like, once upon a time, I thought Keyshawn was tough enough, bad enough. I really didn't think he was on Devin level, but I thought he wasn't scared to fight Devin. I never would have assumed that. I was like, a lot of people don't respect Devin. They call him pillow fisted and all this other shit. People are going to sign up to fight Devin, man. I can't believe how many fucking people Devin Haney actually punked in boxing. He bitched Tank Davis. He punked Loma for his belt. He just bitched motherfucking Keyshawn Davis, but yet Devin's not him. I'm having a hard time believing that now. Devin's not him. I never thought he was him. I always told you, I don't think he's a finished product. Devin, I think he can get better. I don't think he's where he needs to be at. I just, and I'll talk to you about that. I'll tell you everything I think about Devin. But in this scenario, in this situation right here, bro, I'm going to call it like I see it. Devin bitched all of you. If he's not him, if he's pillow-fisted and he's not that good, what the fuck is going on? You bitched Loma for his belt? For his belt. He ran and fought Tio instead of fighting you at 19? Come on, guys. You guys got to think about this shit. And think about the guy. Yo, Tio avoided him like the plague. Tank would not fight him. After Tank sparred him and the doghouse rules, that in actuality, Devin beat Tank and didn't somebody have to pay? Broner or somebody had to pay some money or somebody because somebody lost money in that, right? Tank quit, right? He remembers that when young Devin did that, right? Then there was another one where I guess Tank got the upper hand. But let's just remember, Tank is a lot older by like 3 years, 4 years than Devin. Now that Devin's a man, All of a sudden, when we're in the pros, where when all the chips are on the table and all the belts are on the line, Devin said yes. So, look, bro, it's not like I'm trying to talk this dude Devin up like this. Y'all did this. Y'all got him looking like this. If it was a true fact that he's sweet, why isn't Devin Haney the one ducking people? Why isn't Devin Haney the one vacating belts? Why isn't Devin Haney the one not taking the fight? You guys are acting like what you're saying about him, but he's making you guys look like this. There's a problem here. I see real shit. Real recognize real. And every time it seems like these fucking boxing channel like reporting on fake shit. They like talking about fake shit that's nonsense, and try to make it real shit. And when you see real shit like this going on, what, nobody wants to say it? Why? Because you were fed this whole time that the guy that they're saying is the real one been telling you he's the soft one the entire time. Kind of like I've heard this story before. Where have I heard this story before? Where have I seen this movie? Where they told the real one the hype job, hand wraps, steroids, all these allegations, none of them true. That they hyped up Stephen Kubo Fulton so much, he really thought he was going to go to Japan and walk through this dude. Where have I seen this movie before? Where they say that the real one, he's the soft one. He's the hype job. He's pillow fisted. And I'm just connecting the dots. I'm calling what's really I'm not making up any situations. I'm not saying anything out of all this shit happened. And I'm just telling you, let's just sit back and think about this, rationally. Let's just, you know what I'm saying? And like, shit, Devin, to tell you the truth, these dudes look like they scared to fight you. Y'all talked up Brian Norman Jr. to fight Devin. He's fellow fisted. You're gonna walk through his body. He sat Brian Norman Jr. down right there. Taught him a boxing lesson. But this is Devin Haney we're talking about, right? The guys that you guys are always telling me, the guys you talk about, he's trash. He's boring. He don't sell. He don't do this. Well, you can have your opinion about all those things he doesn't do. But I'm here to tell you about the things he is doing. He's bitching these dudes. Yep. And he's setting himself up for future fights with Tiger Johnson. Young man, make your way up. I'll see you up there at the top. Devin, he needs other fighters to establish themselves. And if some of these fighters can make a fucking decent name by themselves, rather than just trying to depend on fighting Devin to make a name to say that they fought Devin. Why don't Tiger Johnson, Rohan Polanco, and all these other guys, shit, even Arnold Barboza, he's still boxing. Manny Pacquiao, if you're in the ranking, then you got a responsibility. Fight each other. Build a name. So that when you come up against Devin, it's a bigger fight for what? Boxing. Not for Devin Haney, for boxing, for us. Not everybody might be Devin Haney fan. They want to see that dude fall. A lot of dudes didn't like that shit with Ryan, the court case and the finger pointing and all that other shit. A lot of dudes, and hey, whatever. I'm not a fan of a particular boxer. I cover all boxing. I love all boxers, right? So I'm just breaking down the scenario. So don't shoot the messenger. Don't be like, round one likes Devin. Just because you talk good about a person doesn't mean you like them. Just because I smile with you doesn't mean I'm your friend. Don't always hear something and just think because the person's talking positive about the person. No, I don't like Tio, but I got Tio in the fight with Rody. I talk good about Tio too. I don't like Richard Hitchens, and I'm very public with that. I don't like that dude, right? But when it comes to his boxing, I don't allow my feelings to interfere with what I'm breaking down. My name's not Max Kellerman. I don't make up shit. I just say what I see, what I feel about the situation, and what I think should happen next. Simple, right to the point. I might be a little long winded at times, but I do that so I don't talk for 15 minutes. I don't waste your time. You don't waste mine. I get to talk about boxing, break down scenarios in my head, and hopefully give you guys something to tune in and watch. You know what I mean? Whatever you're doing, whether you're driving, working, just watching, tuning in, do me a favor. Reach down and hit that like button, though, for me. So, let's read off some of these messages. What's up, Sam? How you doing? Absolutely on a with Keyshawn. But damn, yeah, they send them on a crash dummy mission. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They sent them on a crash dummy mission. Rich says he's a bum. Tio, he's like he's a bum, Devin. See, not everybody's gonna like every fighter, you know. And like I said, I'm not here trying to change your mind about the fight or anything else. Just merely pointing out things. You guys have at it. Whether or not that fighter wins your respect, if Devin has not earned your respect as one of your fighters, then don't pick him. Don't fucking pick him. Because listen, there has to be something about the fighter that gravitates me towards. And I'm on the line that Devin has had a couple lackluster performances and didn't really show that warrior killer instinct when he had his prey hurt. Now, did he? He gets criticism for that. And he gets criticism from me from that. I'm critical to some of these fighters. There's a lot of things about Devin I don't settle or sit right with me. Okay? And when Devin does certain shit or he's not moving right, believe me, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? But right now, the way I just broke all this down, this is how they got Devin Haney looking. Yeah, they're going to start going down. What do you think these guys are going to do, these Devin Haney fans? What do you think they're going to do? You know, if they come here and hear me talk, oh, they're gonna take everything I said. They're gonna be like, oh, look at Round One. Fucking look at he's right. He bitched Tio. He bitched, Audie of Loma, fucking Tank. They're gonna start noticing this shit. People are gonna start putting this shit together. And I'm just like, nah, bro. Listen, I don't think Africa can beat Devin. I don't think Africa can beat him. I don't think that's the move. For as much as I would actually like to see Shakur Stevenson and Devin fight, I don't believe that fight's gonna happen. Till I actually see Shakur Stevenson walking from the dressing room to the ring, will I believe the fight's actually happening. I don't think he's gonna want to fight him. Why? Why? If I'm being honest, I'm gonna talk real boxing. What I really think, Devin's the only dude that can move with Shakur at a steady pace and can keep up with him. Shakur knows that. His legs are not going to work in the fight with Devin. He's just as athletic, it's not more. And the reason why Devin danced a lot around Loma, remember? And Devin knows how to use his feet. He knows how to cut a little bit better. He didn't cut the ring off with Ryan because he's a little delirious from them punches. Devin wasn't never the same after suffering being down for the first time in his career, being a little embarrassed. He was fighting too much in his head on that night. He couldn't get it together. But that doesn't mean Devin didn't know how to do it. Brian Norman Jr., if you noticed, when Brian was trying to get to Devin, Devin danced with him. Devin was going like that, and Brian could not get his off like Devin was getting his off. Devin kept getting his off, sliding out the way, moving forward. He made Brian Norman Jr. look real below average, like not real below average, but just average. I'm going to just say that. He made him look average. He didn't look like that killer that knocked out Jin Sasaki out there in fucking Japan now, did he? No. And that was thankful to what? Devin's movement. The truth is, I don't think when people say that fight might be boring, it's going to be two guys running around and blah, blah, blah. That could be a possibility. That could be a possibility. But whenever you put the Americans in that are like that against each other, it usually be a banger. They start to realize they can't run from each other. For as agile as Shakur is, Devin is too. Every time he goes, there's gonna be no choice. They're gonna have to engage. You see, what bought him time whenever Shakur wanted to use his footwork, the guy's in front of him like this, right? When Shakur spins, he goes like he got him back at the center. He repositioned, works the jab, goes like this, and the guy's just following him. He buys himself time. But when you got a guy that can fight with you and move with you, you in trouble. De Los Santos had that against Shakur. The only thing that De Los Santos lacked was the offense. It looked like De Los Santos' whole entire game plan was to wait for Shakur to throw a punch so he could counter him. It's like that's what he practiced on. When the empty space and the dead time came between them, De Los Santos was lost. He acted like he didn't know what to do. But when Shakur was trying to move, De Los Santos was following him like that. But it was a bunch of stalemate. It was like they were moving, and then Shakur would go like this to him, and then De Los Santos would go like this, and then back to him, and then moving again. And now we're moving again. And then a bunch of feints. And then like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And then no, I'm not gonna throw a punch. And then move back to the center of the ring. That was their fight. But the one thing De Los Santos could do, he actually was moving with Shakur. Not like a Josh Padley, not like T.O., not like these dudes. He was dancing circles around. If you put him in the ring with Devin, that's his ass. Of course. He's going to have to fight. Now that, my friends, I'll pay to watch. Because I say that's his ass because he won't have his footwork. But I got to be honest. In a weird way, I think Shakur's the more efficient puncher than Devin. If Devin's not careful, in which Devin doesn't got that killer shit. He ain't going in that. I mean, they're gonna have to but Devin's gonna swing, and then get out. And that's how the fight's gonna look. It's gonna be like 1-2 punches, and then I think they're both gonna get out. I don't think they're gonna stand in the pocket. I think they're gonna be moving with each other, but there's gonna be come and then break and then back and then boo boo and then back like that. It's gonna kind of be like that. I see it in my head because Devin doesn't have that killer. If he had that killer when they were moving, I kind of think that he would be able to catch up to Shakur and put that pressure. But Devin's not a real pressure fighter. He's a boxer, puncher. Well, not boxer, puncher. He's a boxer with good skills. I could see a world where Shakur can bait him into something, right? Devin's smart, though. Either way, the fight goes 12 rounds. Either fucking way. My money's on 12 rounds, whether it's Devin or Shakur. My money's on 12 rounds. That fight's going 12 rounds. But it's not going to be as boring as people think. Nah, I don't think so. They're going to, Devin's going to push him to fight. Now, I don't know if Devin shies away. You know, what if Devin gets hurt? Like, bam, and he backs up. Like Abdullah Mason was down on the fight with a Bell, right? Then Abdullah Mason literally, I forget what round it was. I think it was like the 6th round. Somewhere around there. I think it was the 6th. Abdullah Mason hit Albert Bell with a fucking shot. Boom. And you can see it. And Abdullah, like the momentum started switching. And he just, Bell was tying up with him and shit. Some guys fight stronger. Some guys shy away. I can't stamp Devin Haney as a dog like that. That's the only thing I can't do. I'd be lying to you if I did that. He hasn't proven to me, at least, Devin, that he has that dog, that killer dog. Not that dog where that you're not checking out the fight. That box has been checked for Devin. He's tough. Kept getting up after Ryan. He's got that dog in him like that where he's not going to give up on himself. Okay? So that part of it, that's one part of the having the dog in you. Yes. Okay, that's one part of it. But the killer dog, the one that goes out there and kills, that, my friend, Devin lacks. I don't know if he'll get that. That's something he has to prove. That killer instinct, that want to knock this dude out. Fighting into the last round, to the last bell, crying to get the knockout. I don't know if Devin has that. That, my friends, no. I can't co-sign that. But as far as what he's been doing, the situations I find him in, and ironically, they say he's not him. And I'm sitting here looking at it going, well, that's not what you guys are acting like. You acting like you scared. You vacating your belt and you running. Why? If this dude is such a fucking bitch. If this dude is so pillow-fisted, he's not the one. You guys feel like he's a hype job. The Keyshawn Tank, you all called them fucking hype jobs. He shouldn't be getting that money. He's a fucking boring fighter. Then what's the problem with going up there and whooping on pillow-fisted, taking everything he has and his belt? What's stopping you? The truth, reality. That's the only thing that could be stopping you. That's the only. What else is there? If he's so garbage, Keyshawn had him in his sights. He said, "Ch-ch." He had him. Scope was on Devin's forehead and everything. I got him right here in my sights. The motherfucking Keyshawn was so scared. I'm gonna pack this up, put my gun back away, take this up. I don't know why I'm up here on this roof. You know what I mean? I'm minding my business. I should never have been up here. And he took his time. Bro, you're not gonna sit here and convince me. Once again, I talk about real shit and about fake shit being real. How the fuck are they gonna spin this and tell me that Keyshawn's still a dog over Devin? How? That's some more fake shit trying to be real shit. Because what really happened in life, you ran. That's what really happened. Devin didn't run. Devin's bidding on the fight with top rank as a co-promoter. Devin wasn't going nowhere. He was locking it. Man, I'm invested. That's basically saying, you know, I ever hear that saying, put your money where your mouth is. Well, what do you have here? Devin Haney putting his money where his mouth is. I don't know how they gonna dress this one up for Keyshawn. No, just because you say Devin's the bitch and Keyshawn's the real one doesn't mean that's so. Yo, my man, they pulled your card, bro. That's it. That's the bottom line. They pulled your card. You got caught bluffing. You were sitting at the poker table with Devin. Devin had pocket aces, and you had 2-4 offsuited, diamonds and clubs. That's how bad you were down. You had a 2 and a 4, and they weren't even the same suit. Keyshawn said, all in. He tried to bluff. He got caught in a bluff, bro. Let's just be honest. He got caught in a bluff. And Devin got him looking real bad. Until you guys do something to Devin, you know, besides putting nicknames on him like Pillow Fisted, Email Champion, besides putting catchy nicknames on him, right? Whoop his ass. Sign up. You know where he at. You know his address. He lives at the 147-pound weight division, right? He right there, right? You know exactly where he at. Then, boxing's funny. Because when one guy is down bad, John Davis, they want to quickly try to throw it on the other guy, right? And you know what they did? You know what they did? They went and said, well, if Devin Haney doesn't fight Duran Butenis, he's a duck. He's a duck. Bro, they're not even in the same weight division. Chill out. What are you talking about? Duran's at 154 and he's at 147. But that's what they'll try to do. All of a sudden, wait, Keyshawn, we're going to get out of this. We're going to get out of this, Keyshawn fans. How? We're going to put it all on Devin. How? We're going to say if he doesn't fight Boots, he's ducking. Yeah, let's go. That doesn't work. That don't work. Keyshawn, you actually signed up to be in Devin's division. 147, you were the number one. Devin has no obligations to Boots. Boots has no obligations to Devin. That's not a duck. That's an opportunity. Yo, fans are crazy, right? But hey, it is what it is. He's a boxer and a road runner. Haney, Hitchens stops Camboza. Devin went 24 rounds with him. Not the same. Not the same. That's like you saying, I say to you, fist, give me a fist pump. And you say bump fist. Bump fist, it's not the same. Your scenario that you use, that Devin went 24 rounds with George Camboza. Devin went 24 rounds with undefeated, unified champion in George Camboza that just came off a victory of beating Teal. Now remember, when Devin fought George, how old was Devin? He couldn't have been 21 years old. He 22, he had to be like 22 years old. No, at 23, he won all the belts, right? He was the youngest champion at 23 or 21. Was Xander the age 23? That's what I'm getting confused. Just wait right there. We'll get to the bottom of this. You said George Camboza, right? Which actually, George Camboza went into their fight. He was 20-0. You know that, right? After Richard Hitchens fought him, everybody and their mama took their turn beating his ass. Didn't Loma already knock him out? Richard Hitchens wasn't the first person to stop him. Loma took he fought Loma for his belt, right? And George came into the fight, I think the IBO champion, right? So you are talking about George. All right, hold on. We're gonna have to look up George. We're gonna have to look up your what you say, what you bring to the table, because we value that, right? Check it out. And I mean that. That's not sarcastic, right? Okay, so he fights Devin Haney, that's 20-0. How old was Devin Haney at the time? He fought Devin in 2022. He fought him in May 6th. That's 4 years ago. You take 4, he was 23. He's 23 years old. Devin was 23 years old. A fucking kid. 23-year-old kid went and fought your George Camboza, right? Then Richard Hitchens beats him, right? But let's see who he fought before he got to the Richard Hitchens fight. He fights Devin not once, but twice. Loses both of those fights. 12 rounds, right? Okay. Then he fights Maxie Hughes. He goes 12 rounds with him. Then he fights Vasily Lomachenko. Vasily stops him, brutally stops him in the 11th. And he beat the shit out of George. Remember, he had all the blood, everything, and he was like into the side. Beat the brakes off the man. Then he fights this dude named Jack Willie. I don't even know who the hell that is. Then he fought Richard Hitchens. So he had 1, 2, 3, 4 fights before he fought Richard Hitchens. He was already a beaten fighter. He had already suffered multiple losses. He went, you're talking about George Camboza that went, oh yeah, that's right. You know who that dude was? Wait a minute. Yeah, the Boys Club champion. That was a 12-round fight. That Jake dude, he was like an Australian youth champion. He wasn't even like the great pro or anything. He took George Camboza. That guy went the distance with George, and you were surprised that Richard Hitchens stopped him? Just because Devin couldn't? Devin fought a better version of George than Richard Hitchens fought. The version of Richard, the version that Richard Hitchens fought, that George Camboza, he was already a beaten dude, beat up fighter. Oh, and by the way, he got blimped up and moved up a weight division to fight Richard. So Richard blimped him up from a lower weight division and just beat up on a little guy. Where Devin fought him coming off the Tio fight. Never been lost, doesn't know how to lose, got 3 belts. Devin fought a more dangerous version of George Camboza. He didn't have that fire in his eye when he fought Richard Hitchens. He was easier to beat. Yeah, so nah, I don't. 24 rounds versus the rounds you went 8 rounds with him. That's about right. It's about right. Yeah. He didn't fight the best version like Devin did. Devin fought a way better version of George, and I can guarantee you that. Oh shit, we got the $5 super chat of the day, the first super chat of the day. What do you say? Kicker Boxing. What's up, brother? Glad you wasn't on that morning show getting cursed out today. Thank you. Listen, nah. You know, I'm not making a thing about it or anything, but that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I probably haven't been back lately. I enjoy the conversations of boxing, but I enjoy the conversations. I'm a grown ass man. Sometimes I can have a young demeanor. My girlfriend always tells me, I forget you're this old and shit. Because I'm always energetic. And I thank God for giving me a good body, right? But we're men here. We're men. I don't like to be talked down to. I don't like to be screamed at, nothing. And I noticed when that started happening, there was part of me back here that wanted to jump out of character, wanted me to, say things and stuff like that. And I'm trying so hard not to be that guy anymore because, once you do violent acts, you realize what violence really is. Once you experience it, I don't know, maybe I'm getting older in age, I'm getting softer. I don't know what it is. I seem to have a lot more patience today. I don't snap as much, but I feel like I was getting pushed in a situation where I had to do that. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And all I asked was, bro, we grown ass men. Don't yell at me like I'm not gonna try to embarrass you. And I saw that my mom taught me this when I was younger. She said, if you argue with a person and a person turns being belligerent towards you, it's because they have nothing left. Now they want to resort to anger or yelling or trying to demoralize you or put you down because they can't fuck with you. My mom taught me that a long time. Now I never caught on to that. It took me years in life. It's not like she told me that one day and it was like, okay, mom. Nope. I fucking went through life. You know what I'm saying? And I could hear her. This is one of those situations, Edwin, where you need to just step out. Don't be mad because you put yourself in this situation. Don't be mad how they treated you. They didn't touch you, they didn't do nothing. Bow down, bow out of the situation gracefully. Just, all right, cool. I don't have to, prove I'm you know how guys do on the microphone. That's not my style. It's not my style, but love talking boxing. Love going up there, meeting the boxers. Always love. And I miss the chat, man. I miss the guys over there, even though most of them would rock me and roast me and shit, because they are his people, right? But that's okay. That's okay, bro. It's okay. I enjoyed the time, the opportunities, and so forth and so forth. You know what I mean? But I have my own style of reporting. Uh, and I wish I find someone, like Frontline. He's cool as shit. I love Frontline. I won't trade him for nobody, right? But he can't do it every day. He got work and shit, and this is his busy period. I wish I had somebody that I could talk boxing and just like throw alley oops to, and he throws me back things, and I say this, and he'll say that, and he'll know when I'm saying something to bring down a fighter because I gotta play this side, and he'll play that side. Might not always necessarily be that I like the boxer or whatever, but to keep the show, and it's not that, you know, that's just fine reporting. It's like when you get a guy that feeds off your energy. He had a choice on the show. He could have took what I said and said, you know what? That's one way of seeing it. But how about this angle? Rather than, you know what? And start yelling and shit. We weren't, he wasn't feeding me alleys and passing, we weren't. And I just saw that it wasn't working. That's all. That's all. I guess we have two different styles. Um, But it's a shame though, because I fucking like the boxing talk. You know what I'm saying? I like it. And this is what I do. But if I gotta rock out, do my own thing, gotta rock out and do my own thing. Well, we gotta, you know what I'm saying? The show must go on. So I think I do pretty good on my own. I think I give you guys hella content, and I do my best, you know, not to toot my own horn. I think a lot of these guys are boring. You know what I'm saying? It could be me. I could be biased to myself, right? But it's okay. I think that my reporting skills are getting better. The way I express things are getting better with each show. I'm getting better. I'm getting better and better. I never came here or claimed to be the best or any of that shit. You know, just a guy that wanted to talk boxing. I had a vision. I like what some of these guys were doing, and I wanted to be a part of it. Just being honest. Just being honest. You know, being undisputed, fighting Clamboza has to be. Come on, how is that embarrassing? So you're gonna say that Jerron Bucenis is embarrassing with going with Karen too? You're gonna say that just because Jairo Pataya went to 12 rounds in Zuffa, that's embarrassing too? You're gonna say that a lot of these fighters that went 12 rounds with another fighter, fight styles make fights. Some styles are more difficult to some fighters, and that same fighter can fight another style that you thought it was difficult and it could be easy to him. Making reads with that guy versus a guy that's a bit more unorthodox, it can cause guys a lot of problems. I can't definitively just sit here and say, just because you went 12 rounds with George Camboza, listen, that kid was 23 years old. I just want you to know this. That young man was Devin Haney. He went all the way out to Australia in enemy's territory where not one of those persons in that fucking building had Devin Haney's back. On top of that, they didn't let his father in the country. They were trying to fuck with his mental. A young 23-year-old kid was about to walk out there without his corner, his dad, his fucking head coach. And this 23-year-old kid walked up on that world stage with everybody booing at him, and he didn't make a mistake. He didn't give George the opportunity to steal the knife from him. He told George, I'm going to outbox you, I'll jab you, and if you can't get past that, that's not my problem. George was doing everything in his power to rip Devin Haney's head off. That 23-year-old kid pulled it off, not once, but twice. I don't want to hear it. There is nothing embarrassed with becoming undisputed. In a four-belt era, there are 11 men in history that can say they were undisputed. 11 men out of 25,000 fucking guys that have been fighting since it's been a fucking four-belt era. How many men have come across the belts? I told you, Albert Bell fought for his first world title against Abdullah Mason. He was a pro for 13 years. First world title fight. You mean to sit here and talk over undisputed like that wasn't nothing? That was embarrassing to be called undisputed after 24. Did you just say that? I don't give a fuck how I would become undisputed. Once I got that, you couldn't take that away from me. Saul Canelo Alvarez only became undisputed in one weight division. Was that bad? He went 12 rounds with Edgar Berlanga. So I guess Saul sucks now, according to what you're saying. Because if you go the distance, they suck. It's embarrassing that Saul maintained his belts with William Skull and went around in a circle in that IBF fight, right? Now Canelo sucks, according to this guy. Jerron Boots Ennis went 24 rounds with Karen. He beat the shit out of Xander. By your analogy, Xander should have wiped down Jerron Boots Ennis because he went 24 rounds with that guy. But that's not how fighting works now, is it? He went out there and he beat the shit out of Xander. That's how fighting works. So your analogy about Devin fighting fucking George Camboza is and that it's embarrassing that he won it like this and got that undisputed. Bro, are you okay? I listen. Undisputed is undisputed, man. No matter how you slice it. Listen, when Bernal Hopkins became undisputed and Taylor beat him, he became undisputed. But you only fought one person and you won all 4 belts. You didn't go out there and win it the most honorable way. But the point was, it's not how you got it. Did you accomplish it? Because according to fucking Lomachenko, he never would. Lomachenko got 2 gold medals. And you know what he can't say he ever was? Undisputed. You know what Devin could say he was? Undisputed. And as a matter of fact, what did Devin Haney do with the 4 belts? He defended them twice. He gave George Camboza a shot at the belts again. That's a title defense on all 4 belts for the second fight. And guess what he did? He beat 2 Olympic gold medalists and Vasily Lomachenko to defend all 4 belts. I don't care what you think about the fights. Oh, Loma won. Opinions are like assholes. You have an opinion. What's on the record books? I'm sorry, we only talk facts, not opinion. We get to opinion sometimes. I have my own. But for right now, let's just keep it on facts. Fact is, Devin defended all 4 belts twice. Not even the great Terrence Crawford got 1 title defense on all 4 belts and none of the 3 weight divisions. But Devin, he got 2 title defenses on all 4 belts. What is this guy talking about? You just don't want to acknowledge him. Listen, I'm not a Devin Haney fan. It might seem like I'm coming to Devin Haney's aid. No, I'm just kicking Devin Haney facts. It's up to you guys to whoop his ass. Give me something to say, you know what? Devin wasn't that dude. This dude fucked him up. I don't have that. I don't have that. All I have is what the fuck is going on. You can say whatever you want, but apparently this Keyshawn's running. He's vacating belts. You're avoiding him. That doesn't sound like a guy to me. That's a bitch. That's all I'm saying. I have other fighters that I think way better highly of than fucking Devin Haney. Naoya Inoue, #1, baby. Okay? And I'm not afraid to say that. I will publicly come out and tell you I'm a fan of that dude. I'm not a fan of Devin Haney. I'm just, he's good. Devin's great, man. I like him. I'm not a fan. No, I don't rock with him like that. But I just can't lie and fucking keep allowing fake shit to exist. No, no, Keyshawn, no, Shakur, no. I'm sorry. Shakur's from Brick City, from Newark, New Jersey. You think I don't want to rep this dude? What, man, listen, he's from Brick City and Puerto Rican. Shakur Stevenson. I should be defending that dude. It's just, that's not what's happening. The only reason why I'm saying any of this shit, this is what the fuck's going on. Wake up. If he's that trash, if he's that pillow fisted, what's the fucking problem with you guys fighting him then? Why are we vacating belts? Why are we avoiding him? It just makes you think like he might be better than what, and then that Ryan fiasco won't leave my mind. It just won't leave. You know, I look, guys. I like all fighting. I like boxing. I like breaking down boxing situations, but don't get it fucked up. Don't get it fucked up. I am not a Devin Haney fan. I'm not a T.O. fan, but I don't like man, T.O. man, you said that dumb shit out your mouth about us. Since then, I kind of took it a little personal. But T.O. still, I give you your props. I talk when it comes to fighting about what you do in the ring. I don't let that, the fact that you said that stupid shit about my people and shit and my flag and stuff and about us. Okay, fine. You know, um, I felt like Sabir smacked the shit out of you. I felt like we got it back. And it was just on a competitive stance with you. But I'm still not gonna let that sway my perception on Teal. Not even Dalton Smith. Dalton Smith beat Subiel. I hung around with Subiel out there in Puerto Rico. I was in the gym fucking around. We was talking, hitting the bag and shit. And I hung around for like an hour and shit in the gym with him and shit. I could have stood with him when he was running with the kids, did all that stuff because they invited me. But my man left his keys in the car. Remember the situation, and we had to anyway. But Dalton Smith is a world champion. Yeah, no, nothing personal. No love loss. You beat my guy. You beat my guy, Dalton Smith. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to all the champions. I represent and I defend champions because I understand how hard it is just to fight for one belt. Just one. Just getting the opportunity to fight one. And some of these motherfuckers, they stay like in a 3-fight fucking deal. Like this guy fights him, and they're all fighting each other, but not fighting anybody else in the division. That can take a few years. And that can take a few years off your career. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So thank you. So I'll put it right there. I'll eat right now. I'm gonna get off right now. I don't know. It's probably in the mailbox still. I didn't get it. No. All right. So like, yeah, I just look, guys, I just want to be straightforward and apparent. I'm not up here. No, but I am calling it like I see it. You guys gave Devin all this shit. You guys are fucking stamping that Debo shit by all the moves you guys are doing. This is y'all. And Keyshawn looking real bad because he was fucking with him and didn't want to fight him, bro. And that's what happened. And if he's that bad of a fighter, just whoop his ass. Take what he got. That's it. That's it. So listen, fight fans, my food is here. My beautiful wife just brought this shit. I'm about to eat this shit right now. And leave it the comments in the chat. If you like just boxing talk, we like to listen, talk, conversate. We can do that. Tomorrow I'll go on, I'll drop the link. You guys can stop by, share, give me your opinions. Give me your opinions and your thoughts on the chat. I'm not trying to persuade you. You don't like the man, don't like the man. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's cool. But we have a lot of boxing to talk about. So, fight fans, thank you for tuning in. Do me a favor, reach down, hit that like button for me. It costs you nothing. It helps with the visibility of the channel, helps boxing channels like myself to keep our channels going. Thank you for your donation, your shout outs, and for participating today. Salute, brother. I'll see you on the next one. You guys be good. God bless. Protect your family. Family first, guys. Family first. Peace.